I've got 4 words for you. Go-Go Power Rangers. Actually, it might be 3 words if you hyphenate Go-Go, and I think you should probably toss a comma or 2 in there somewhere. Actually, you know what? Screw the commas and hyphens, because it's Go-Go time. Now, previously I mentioned I did pick up some of the new Power Rangers figures for the 4-inch scale. Before I actually get into reviewing those, I figured let's go back, let's take a look at what Bandai originally brought out to us, and just do something to compare to going forward. Before I actually open the Mighty Morphing plastic crate, which actually doesn't morph at all, so I don't know why I'm calling it that. Probably to be funny, but I don't think I succeeded. Let's have a look at the Piranha's Head monster from Season 2 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like most kids growing up between the 80s and 90s, I was hugely into Power Rangers because everybody was back then. The Piranha's Head monster was introduced in Season 2. This dude single-handedly took down all spoilers, obviously. I mean, everybody kind of knows this, and it's not really a big revelation, but the Piranha's Head monster was the first of Lord Zedd's creations. He single-handedly took down the Megazord, destroying it. Almost also destroyed the Dragon Zord, but Tommy got it into the sea. Obviously, this has some kind of wear damage here, and it's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, so he's one of my favorite monsters, just because I always thought piranhas were kind of cool, and the whole ear thing is very gremlin-ish. That's probably a lot of where the appeal came from, but he used to play like this little fish flute thing, which they didn't include with him for some stupid reason, and that's what he used to paralyze the original Zords with. Very cool character. In the original series for this, I don't remember if he was originally introduced at the same time as the other ones, but on the same scale they also did a Goldar, a King Sphinx, and I think 2 other large monsters, but these were basically intended to sort of be at the same scale as the Megazord and Dragon Zord, although both were actually, I believe, a sizable bit larger. I wasn't lucky enough to own a Megazord or a Dragon Zord as a kid, which totally sucked. I mean, I did want to pick up, I don't remember how I ended up not getting it, but I did want to pick up the second Dragon Zord, the red one from the second series, but again, never materialized. Not bitter about it, not really. But yeah, let's open up the crate and take a look at some of the cool Power Ranger stuff that Bandai put out. You know, in terms of presentation, I'd love to be able to film me physically taking the stuff out of the Rubbermaid and everything, or plastic crate, or whatever I called it, but this is a really huge box, also does not really fit on the ledge, so we have to pull the stuff out off camera. No, it's not a huge loss, I guess. It just, you know, takes away a little bit from the coolness. First up, we have a Mighty Max Horror Head, because I mixed some stuff in. I'll probably do another feature on Mighty Maxes exclusively, but if you're interested in that sort of stuff, I recommend that you check out Matlock WK's channel, as he's recently been reviewing a ton of the stuff, and, you know, he's got a lot more than I do. Also, I probably can't spend a ton of time on any one piece from the series, just because there's just so many different collectibles I have for this. But first up, here's the main series, Tommy, the Red Ranger. Now, all these figures, these were the core figures really at the time, can transform by flipping the little morpher here. By the way, I used to have a lot of the accessories from the series, but I don't anymore. I mean, that's a big regret, especially the physical morpher, because that was pretty cool. Let me just quickly show you what the articulation was like on all these upper figures. Unfortunately, the parts with the metal joints, I've noticed metal joints don't seem to hold as well as plastic ones for some reason. I don't know. Plus, I mean, this one I played the hell out of. He was the first one I picked up. One of my favorite Rangers in the group, partially because he had a sword, but in terms of articulation, we have a single joint here. You'll notice he's a little peg here for holding accessories. We have a point of rotation here at the arm here. And then a ball-jointed shoulder. And back as a kid, I thought this was just the coolest thing, but, you know, since then we've had a ton of articulation. Now, Also, as a kid, I never really noticed the fact that the head has no articulation at all in either mode, but I guess that's to be expected. Also, no waist movement, but as a kid, didn't really affect me. Just a hinged or whatever joint here for the hip, and then a single joint down here at the knee. And of course, no ankle articulation back then. Each of the characters came with, I believe, 2 accessories. Their trademark weapon from the show, and then a blaster. Here's the blaster. Shoot, for some reason I do not have Tommy's sword here, but here are all the other weapons, which did combine to form this one ultra weapon, which was used to destroy that one pig-headed dude. Let me quickly pop the blaster in here too. I mean, as you can see, it fit pretty well and everything, and then if you wanted it to, it could go into the holster, but it's a little bit tough to play with the figures with these in there because they did have a tendency to pop out because it didn't secure too snugly. But let's take a look at the rest of them really quickly. Next up we have Billy, the Blue Ranger. Not a very good likeness on this head here. Wasn't a big fan of Billy anyway, so no bigs. Zack, the Black Ranger. Zack was a pretty cool character. Trini, the Yellow Ranger, another one of my favorite original Rangers. You'll notice that they use the same body sculpt despite this being a female character. Again, the likeness here is so-so. Now, Jason, Zack, and Trini were my favorite Rangers. So naturally in Season 2 they chose to replace 3 Rangers, and guess which ones they were. Jason was replaced by Rocky, who I never really liked. Largely in part probably just because he was replacing Jason, plus he felt really generic. Trini was replaced by Aisha, again, really didn't care for. And then Zack got replaced by Adam, played by I guess it might have been Johnny Bosch Young's first big role. Johnny Bosch Young, of course, would go on to play Vash in Trigun, and Ichigo in Bleach. He was a pretty big voice actor, so his career was really looked up. I'm not sure how everybody else did after this.